What's up everyone, Darcblade here with a unusually late, well extremely late video regarding my top 10 favourite games of 2014. The main reason for the delay was I wanted to hold off making this video and release it sometime early 2015 so I had a chance to play games I may have missed out on during 2014. However, through one thing or another, this video has become exceedingly late. I normally compose these lists on a few aspects, mainly how good the game's story, graphics, presentation and how fun it was for me personally to play, and thus this is a personal list and yours may differ. But anyway, let's get on with the list. Number 10, Infamous Second Son. Released early 2014, Infamous Second Son branched away from the previous Infamous games. It brought back similar combat, but also introduced new powers that made the game more fun in the gameplay department. It also came with amazing particle and special effects. However, its story did not live up to the stories previously experienced in Infamous 1 and 2. Number 9, The Evil Within. This was released around Halloween 2014, and at first I thought it was going to be a slow-paced horror game, but it turned into more of a Resident Evil 4 experience. Not to say that is a bad thing though, as I enjoyed the gunplay, and ironically I enjoyed the characters. I know some people hated the characters in The Evil Within, but I got along with them. It's a shame in a way that it went for the action horror route, as this game had great potential, but I still had fun playing it. Number 8, Bayonetta 2. Released mid-2014, Bayonetta 2 gives us another outrageous chapter in this fast-paced action fighter. The insane combat, story and visuals return with this excellent Wii U title. As long as you don't take this game too seriously, especially in terms of its story and visuals, then you're bound to have fun with this title. The aspect of Bayonetta 2 that puts it on this list for me though is its fast-paced gameplay. Once you're able to master the controls, it will be a joy to experience. Number 7, South Park The Stick of Truth. South Park The Stick of Truth was released early 2014. This game may have been higher on my list if it wasn't for the censorship issues that happened around the world. However, despite that, it was still a joy to play. The story is incredible and it makes you feel like you are part of the South Park town. The visuals are what you would see in an episode of South Park that made the game special. However, its turn-based combat was okay, but it wasn't anything outstanding. But because of this game, it gives me high hopes for South Park Shattered But Whole, which is the sequel coming sometime soon. Number 6, Assassin's Creed Rogue. Assassin's Creed Rogue was released late 2014. I was a big fan of Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, and in the gameplay department, Assassin's Creed Rogue is almost identical. There are a few additional abilities and weapons here and there, but if you enjoyed the gameplay aspects of AC4, you will enjoy Rogue. However, Rogue gives us a unique twist on the Assassin's Creed franchise by putting players in the role of a Templar, and you will experience a Templar story rather than an assassin's story. Some people may hate this, but I personally loved it. It really did make me question the creed. Number 5, Mario Kart 8. Mario Kart 8 was released mid-2014. This is the game I got when I received the Wii U, and I'm glad to say I wasn't disappointed. A great party game, Mario Kart 8 looks gorgeous, and is probably one of the best in the Mario Kart franchise. If you have friends round and suggest Mario Kart 8, rarely will other people say no to a few races. Number 4, Dark Souls 2. Released early 2014, Dark Souls 2 gave us a masochist game to try to battle our way through. However, this by no means is bad, as these games are so enjoyable in terms of its challenge and what it puts its players through. Whilst I played it on the consoles and not as good looking as the PC, it did not deter from my experience. I still thoroughly enjoyed it. Later, early in 2015, Dark Souls 2 saw a re-release in the form of the Scholar of the First Sins. This version, some people argue, is not quite as good as the original Dark Souls 2 release, but I still enjoyed both versions. Personally, even though I make a lot of YouTube videos, I also watch a lot of YouTube and Twitch streams, and watching Dark Souls 2 was one of my highlights last year, as well as playing it. Number 3, Alien Isolation. Alien Isolation was released late 2014. Before I go into this, I have to say that I am a huge fan of the Alien franchise. The original film Alien, and followed by its sequel Aliens, are some of the best films that you can come across, especially in the horror genre. And Alien Isolation lives up to what these films gave us. Whilst it's not perfect, it's still done very good. It tries to keep a style that was found in Alien. and even the developers stated that if they couldn't create the items back in the late 1970s, then it would not appear in this game. This game follows Ellen Ripley's daughter Amanda as she tries to search for what happened to her mother. This brings her to a station that unfortunately has a xenomorph running around on it. The xenomorph has some excellent AI and even toys with the player. You may think that it's Runaway, but in fact it's just waiting around the corner for you to pop out. On top of its tense gameplay, it has a reasonable plot, but also comes with excellent presentation. For me though, the highlight of the game is the xenomorph itself. It is one of the scariest creatures I've come across in video gaming for quite some time. And number 2, Destiny. Destiny, the new Bungie FPS, the game that is supposed to be a MMO that's going to last for years. Destiny was released mid to late 2014. Now this game initially would be lower on my list. However, there are reasons for why it's number 2 for me. But before I go into that, the story is lacking, to say the least. There is a story there, but it is hidden behind flavor text that is found in the form of grimoire cards that you have to access on the Bungie website. The story really could have been told better. However, its gameplay and presentation are good. The gameplay is smooth, it functions as you would expect a first-person shooter to function. There are really no faults in its gameplay department. Okay, there may be faults in its talent trees, and some of its abilities being overpowered, but it didn't detract from the game. I played it on the PS4 and the visuals were fine, they were good. However, the reason why it's number 2 for me personally is that I enjoyed the game when I was playing with the group of players I played with during 2014. We had such a blast, and as a result I put so many hours into it. Playing with these guys really made Destiny for me. Without them, Destiny would be a lot lower on this list. But that is it, and that is why these multiplayer games, especially the ones that have a MMO-esque element to them, your experience with them will differ depending on who you play with. If you are able to find the right group of players to play with, then even a game that is mediocre or even poor can be made amazing. It's just a shame to think of what Destiny would be like if its story was as excellent as the experience I had with the players. And number 1, Dragon Age Inquisition. Released late 2014, Dragon Age is another epic journey by the developers of BioWare. With an epic plot and interesting characters, Dragon Age Inquisition expands what we were given in the previous Dragon Age installments, albeit it ups the ante in terms of the battle we have to face in Inquisition. I found the story epic and thoroughly enjoyed it. Its gameplay was okay, may not be the best aspect of Dragon Age, but it was still fun and gave you options to go more in depth if you wanted to. Its presentation was okay, it wasn't the best looking game of 2014, but it did not detract from my experience. Its multiplayer was a fun distraction as well, that added a ton of hours put into this game. Its multiplayer was also a fun aspect. I spent so many hours on this game in total, combining both the single player and multiplayer. Combining all the elements I judge a game on together, then Dragon Age Inquisition is my number 1. Not only because it gave me fulfilling gameplay, but it also delivered the most enjoyable story of 2014 to me. Stories at the end of the day are subjective though, so your opinion on it may differ quite a lot. But anyway, there we have it. Dragon Age Inquisition was my number 1 for 2014. 2014 as a whole was not a great year in my opinion. There was nothing that stood out and jumped out and it was like, yes, that is number 1. None of these games did that for me. Personally, I also found this list a bit hard to put together because nothing stood out and I had to sit down and think which I've played the most, which I enjoyed the most, as well as the qualities of the game. But anyway, what do you think of the list? Do you agree with it or not? What were your personal picks of 2014? Because I'd love to hear what you think. So leave a comment down below. And until next time, I've been Darcblade, bringing you my top 10 games of 2014. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, subscribe and like for more.